Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're talking about Gran Turismo 7 and how the developers have come out, give us a big old long sorry, we screwed up the game, gave everybody $1 million in credit. So essentially we only paid $60 for it now because now we got our $10 back. So that's kind of cool, you know. I mean, like, I'm definitely gonna enjoy spending that $1 million on wide body kits for everything. Really hope my VW bus will be hopefully I can do a wide body kit on that VW bus. I haven't really. I turned it on and I cashed in my ticket. Got my million credits last night, but I was too busy covering other stuff. Yeah, as you know, we've got some Tiny Tina Wonderlands. We got some Ghostwire Tokyo, Monster Energy Supercross 5. So there's just other things to cover right now. I have been kind of pulling back on my coverage for Gran Turismo 7 due to the nature that didn't really know exactly what direction that game was going to go, and not really going to subject my fan base to watching gameplay of something that could potentially lead them to buy a game that they might not that they might not be able to fully enjoy due to the fact that the economy of the game is screwed up. The online nature of the game doesn't necessarily 100% bug me to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, because I know that game is going to stay live longer than I'm going to be playing it for. So that necessarily doesn't bother me. It would bother me if every time I tried to play it, I was getting on there and the system was down or something. That would start to really become a problem for me. But I have yet to have one problem trying to get in there. Like when it was down for 30 something hours, I was busy playing other stuff anyways, or I was at work. So it didn't really catch me at that point. I was able to log in anytime I wanted to play that or create content for it. I do buy a lot of games so that I can, and a lot of them I do try to cover, and some of them I cover a long time. The games that I really like, I tend to cover them well in advance. I mean, if you've been here at the channel for a while, you've seen plenty of content for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You've seen a lot of content for, Riders Republic, Forza Horizon 5. So I do tend to, or Chivalry 2, I do tend to cover a lot of content for a lot of games that I love. Gran Turismo should have been one of those in that category. I had multiple plans to make a lot of content for Gran Turismo 7. But like I said, due to the just how the game has been presented and how they've changed things so early on and how they've started to screw with the economy in the game, it was like, man, I just need to stop covering this. You got the internet hate going on about it right now. So to me, that just didn't feel like something that would have been productive at the time. Hopefully, I am going to take a watch and see stance with Gran Turismo 7. This is a goodwill gesture to come out and give us the money. They're talking about raising the amount of winnings by 100% on later game stuff in there. They say they're going to be bringing more cars, more content, more races, more events. And I do believe them with that because they did set a precedent with Gran Turismo Sport that they will continue to support this game long term with live service features, which you already knew was coming. I already covered that in my review. I did cover that from day one as a live service game. So if they manage to turn things around and continue to bring content and make the online game, the game economy better, as well as they will be increasing the amount of credit that you can have winnings up to 100 million as opposed to the 20 million that it was already set at. So these are some good quality of life changes that are coming to this game that should have been there from the very beginning, to be completely honest with you. There's a real sense of urgency at PlayStation to try to make as much money off their products right now as possible. I do understand that. I do think the way they're going about it is completely wrong. They should have never told people, they should have never raised the price to $70 this generation. I do think that that was one of their biggest pitfalls, and I still think it's going to haunt them for a while. The fact that these games are $70, like you have Horizon Forbidden West come out, it's $70. Well, I mean, technically you could still buy that one for $60. You just have to buy it from your phone app on the PlayStation 4, and then you can download the PlayStation 5 version, which they hid. It just seems like the more and more press that PlayStation's getting lately is negative press. Like, good things that should have came out and been system sellers, like Gran Turismo 7, are getting destroyed because of I don't necessarily think, I mean, like, to us as consumers, it looks like greed. It literally looks like greed. But I mean, take for instance Xbox with Game Pass and Flight Simulator. Flight Simulator came out. Those DLC planes that are made by other people, they're not cheap, man. I've paid $40 for a plane. I've paid $35 for a plane. They're not exactly cheap, but they do enhance your experience, and it is an open platform that other people can make stuff and sell you on the thing. So you need to base, this is the way I look at microtransactions. You need to base that value on your enjoyment. Are you going to enjoy picking that up? Like, are you going to spend $40 on a DLC car? Are you going to drive that car a lot? Is it something that you've got to have? Because that's just $3 million. Now, I mean, earning $3 million in Gran Turismo is not that hard. It might take you a couple days, whatever. But if you get to a certain race that has a decent pay outcome, you can knock that down to just a few hours. Like, you can knock that down to just a few hours of grinding. But I mean, from the very beginning to grind through all that, I think it was 24 hours to get to where I had everything unlocked, where I could do any of the races, where I could do anything. It took me about 24 hours to get all of that unlocked, and that was doing all of my licenses, everything else. So that first 24 hours was the roughest. But now I'm to a place where I can just get 50,000 a race. Boom, boom, boom. 50,000 a race. And those races, I believe, are about 12 minutes long. Anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes long. So you can consistently, every 12 minutes, just getting that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other ways to figure out how to grind and get more money quicker, but that's just say take that for instance, 50,000 per race. You're gonna have to do like 20 of those races or whatever to get that money, but there are other events in there that are worth more than 50,000. And that's just where I'm kind of sitting with Gran Turismo right now. You can figure out how to get what you want in that game pretty easily, and now with your $1 million credit, you do have to have already purchased the game to receive those credits. You had to have had the game during the time when the game was not functioning. So that right there is, I mean, so that sucks. If you're going to go out and buy the game right now, you're not getting that $1 million credit. So don't go out there and buy it thinking that you're going to get that. I do still recommend Gran Turismo 7 as a race game, but maybe proceed with caution, seriously, because just like they flicked the switch the first time, they could flick the switch again later and completely alter and change the whole way that game plays. So that's the nature of live service, and it's happened before. I mean, look at Destiny. How many times Destiny 1, Destiny 2 have changed and made things even more grindy. That's why I quit playing that. That's why I usually quit playing live service games. I usually buy them right when they come out so that I can enjoy what gameplay I can. But once they start making these radical changes is when I stop playing them. Like, I just don't care. I look at them as like, okay, I like to enjoy a lot of different things. So I look at them as, oh man, I'm going to enjoy this experience and then move on to something else. So if when a game comes out in the beginning, if I really like that game, maybe I'll stick around for a while. I did stick with Destiny for a few years. I did stick with Destiny for up to, not the newest DLC, but the last one. The last one I did buy, I did play that, and then that was it for me. I did not buy the Witch Queen. I probably won't buy the Witch Queen. So that's just where I'm kind of at. Like live service games, I do like them if they're done right, but at the same time, they can really become, they really can, start to drag down on your pocketbook. So that's my advice to you on Gran Turismo. I do think it is worth playing. Maybe wait for it to go on sale. Maybe watch it for a couple months, see how the DLC and how everything lands. See what their plan is going forward with that. Racing games are racing games. Until something better comes along, you're usually able to continue playing those and get your money's worth. So yeah, I'm recommending kind of watch it a little bit, but definitely this is pretty cool that they decided to go ahead and update that and tell the fans what they're going to do, what their plan is. So got to give them props for that. Hopefully, I do love Gran Turismo as a franchise. I really do. So it is good. It makes me happy to see that they actually are going to listen to the fans and they're going to engage that, and that being able to speak out helps them understand exactly the product they have. Because if you leave it up to the corporations, they're just going to be like, oh yeah, let's get as much money as we can. But when the fans are like, no dude, we're not buying that, then they're like, okay, let's figure out a fair price and move forward. I think they should have just left the car prices the same as they had from the first game. I think they should have just done that instead of trying to make you pay $40 for a car. That's just ridiculous. You could go in there $199.99, 99 cents, all the way up to like $5 or whatever. So that was pretty cool. Wish they would have just kept the pricing model for Gran Turismo Sport the same going forward. And in the new update, you will be able to sell your cars. So that's pretty cool as well. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.